Hello, hi guys, it's me, JRTV, it's my shadow, and we are entering both the shadow and the light, the darkness and the bright, the skies and the sun shines, and that is the true divine. That's who we are. So, 10 points. Number 1, ask what sources of fear are potentially holding you down. Not a big element is the whole idea of going vegan and the associated fear with products and services, and obviously food items that are not that are based in suffering. And so going beyond that, there are other elements to that, to the fear base. For example, product services that aren't fair trade concerning humans, or maybe stuff that you'd be unwilling to do. Like, for example, if you're willing to live in a high-rise skyscraper, but you're unwilling to risk your life to be a window washer. And obviously with the advent of technology, a lot of things are like automated or robotized, and yet there are some things that people do, like maybe they consume meat products, but they would never be willing to eat meat, be a rancher or work in a mass production facility. But the bottom line is to question your fear, or pain. Don't just think that, life is tough, or I always getting these discomforts and maybe medical society will have a solution. No, rather make it your aim to say, you know what, there is fear in my life, and I'm going to take easy steps that are within my realm to eliminate it. And when I say fear, I'm kind of into pain. Obviously, there's some things like accidents that inevitably are going to cause pain, and so that's not to worry. Like, if I was in a wheelchair, I wouldn't be concerned. I would admit that, I cannot have a dream mate in this lifetime because, I can't experience sexual, there's no point, because there's no sexual element because I'm in a wheelchair, right? But that is of no consequence, because my main agenda is life. My main agenda is empowering life to live. And the way that happens is by, and this is like 3 points, we're already at almost at point 4 here. But, I'm talking about wanting good for all life, and being able to make life great. Like, if I'm in a wheelchair, it doesn't matter, because I'm like playing God. I'm playing the puppet master. Not that I'm have a egomanic complex, but rather that I believe that I am consciousness, and that I should be able to add to people's lives such that both myself, my surroundings, and consequently future incarnations of me will be more in joy. That it's, and a couple of other points. Part of it's about acceptance. Like, what are you willing to accept, okay, in your life? Right? Like, what do you... That's interesting. What are you willing to... Like, are you willing to accept the suffering in the world, or are you willing to... It's like, no, this is unacceptable, and then in turn you decide to make solutions for it. And one other thing I do, this is point 4, is I I avoid certain luxuries and romances and amenities of the world because that takes time to enjoy and to also to create, you know. So I want to help meet everyone's basic needs, but in such a way that is worthwhile. There's no point in meeting basic needs if people either misuse or abuse their power and opportunity that's they're and then corrupted and engage in half-hearted, non-committal, premarital. Marriage is more than just two people. It's loving each other. It's 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 loving yourself, and you can't love yourself unless you know who you are. So that's probably point five about why I'm an interesting person is that. Well, point four was to kind of hint that to avoid live a more ascetic, which is like a monk lifestyle, and it is something that I do. But what it does is it allows one to make a more concerted effort towards improving the world, because you can't you can't improve the world and be just like having fun, and engaging like going to some fancy place where there's lots of wealth. I'm going to make point five the idea of a celebrity. There's two types of people who seek fame or acknowledgement. There are those who seek it so that and power so that they can give more to others and connect with more people and perhaps show people that they're a nice person, so even people that didn't like them, show them that they're worth connecting with. And then there's those who seek fame and power to further isolate themselves as if they're somehow separated or superior to the rest of the humanity, which is striving to figure things out. And so, and then there's people who, like I'm saying, that they don't, they just want to ignore people and be like, I'm better than you, and I don't have to talk to you because I'm rich. And so in an effort to transcend that, point six that I think makes me unique is my light work meditation that I do. It consists of imagining people smiling, visualizing brilliant laser beam streams of bright white light, and it training down on people, and they react in exuberance and joy, and it's easy to watch people walking and then beam down and imagine them smiling. And you can do this with everyone. Somebody who you're romantically interested in but you're concerned about what to do about them. Somebody who you are upset at, or a complication in a work environment or personal life, whatever. The light work. And that reprograms the mind. It's not about the other people. It's about you smiling. And point seven, it's this idea of knowing. Like, how do you know that what your dreams are? Know that who you love, or you want to know. And so if you question what the word know means, does it mean just that your emotions tell you, or does it mean that science tells you, and that your mind tells you, and that everything's matched up? because you want your emotions and your energy and your also your money, everything all to be matched up. And that's how you're going to feel that things are normal. There's no clashing energies within you. So this is something to strive for. And believe me, I'm aware that many people won't be able to do this in their lifetime because they've taken on other responsibilities, like children. So they have this moral, what is it called? A moral burden? Moral obligation, rather, they have. But we can supersede, we can go beyond. And another thing is obviously my this is point 8, my chakra ideas for the chakras. Like, activate your basic needs. Don't, okay, here's the thing. Everyone has mental programming, and it will affect you unless you deal with it. If you have a programming of a person being mean when you were younger, it will affect you unless you bring it to a surface and analyze it, and then decide consciously and intentionally that this is how you're going to act as an alternative. And it may be good programming. It may be programming of how to manage, money, finances, or emotions. By the way, managing emotions is simple. It's just breathing and realizing that people might be trying to upset you, but to make them feel badly it just gets you into that cycle of upset. So rather than try to overpower them, the trick is to, like water, go around them. And not be caught in a cycle of violence. To realize that other people are in that cycle. Maybe it's because they eat non-vegan products. Maybe it's because they are greedy in such a way that they are trying to avoid other people rather than participate and involve themselves in society. Like, there's no escaping things. You can't escape what you do. And like I was saying in point 7, this idea of science, if you can write down and analyze what you actually like and don't like, then you can just learn how to love yourself. And then, a lot of people, they don't even have any knowledge of themselves or their interests and values, and therefore they cannot love another person because they wouldn't be able to recognize it. So a lot of times when people say they love someone, it's just lust, because you can't really love someone. You can only love their dreams or interests. And I've made a lot of points here. I'm going to try to make a few more. 9 and 10. So 9 being I'm going to talk about envy, and 10 I'm going to hint on exercise. So envy is just disapproval. There's no such thing as envy in the sense of wishing that you had somebody else's body or possessions, because we are all of who we are as humanity. So everything that's in theory good or attractive or a skill, perhaps a skill of being disciplined and being able to create security. Money is about protection and security. And of course not forgetting the fact that you might lose money, or the currency there might be problems with the money. These are all things that one should be cognizant of, and also ultimately realizing that it isn't even not that significant what types of things that you have, as long as you're actively doing things for the community, as long as you're pushing forward, as long as it's like what like okay, so that somebody has such great wealth, well, what are they doing to maintain that? Or how are they being responsible? Or they say that the people don't have jobs, they don't work. Well, no, they manage their money, and they make they make decisions, and also they manage other people who, like perhaps an accountant or attorney, or maybe other people that if they're running a company, whatever, they're doing stuff, they're moving. And this is a caution I want to lend to certain persons who are saying that, it's all the wealthy people's fault. Well, see, wealthy people may or may not benefit from recessions. They may not have been the people who created them artificially. I do believe recessions are artificially created in order to redistribute wealth, always cycling back towards certain wealthy persons, middle class trying to build up their businesses, but then having to resell it or their property to wealthier people, because they have to resell it to survive. That was a bit of a tangent, but relevant to, especially now that there's a low point in the plandemic. So, point 10 on why I think I'm good, quote unquote, it's because I'm seeking knowledge. And that may sound trite or commonplace that, oh, person seeks knowledge. But no, it is a dedicated, serious pursuit. It involves listening carefully, avoiding situations, learning quickly, repeating things. Like I can listen to an audiobook and repeat it at the same time while I'm listening to it, in order to quickly absorb the information. So you're quickly learning from mistakes, and even better, quickly learning from other people's mistakes and employing other people who are more professional than you at certain specialties or skills. So, and then that makes things go faster for you. And of course, it's not about making things go faster, but in the sense of, because rushing, the challenge is where the meaning is derived. Challenges, right? And that's how we get, that's how we feel good about a success, or an accomplishment, or somebody gave whatever rewards you get. Okay, you have to feel good. The only way to feel good about them is to, in effect, you get the idea. So that's 10 points on me, why I am able to push through. I activate my own chakras. I don't need other people to satisfy me sexually or spiritually. I exercise, and I wanted to note on exercise, in fact, that activates the third chakra, right? Okay, so exercise. Here's some nice flowers here. Okay, also avoiding miscellaneous information. So the acquisition of information, as I was saying, it involves dealing with people you may not want to deal with, or that you think are silly, but they have specialized knowledge. So you need to acquire that in whatever ways. Find out what people really know about. Exercising, secret to push-ups, it's a 4 count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're counting 4s, and you breathe in on the first 1, and then 2, 3, and 4 you breathe out. So 1, breathing in, 2, 3, and 4 you're breathing out. Then 5 you breathe in, 6, 7, 8 you're breathing out. And try to have a set amount that you do. Like, for example, I try to go for, I'll go for something like 50. I like to do 50. I think people should have a specific amount that they aim for. And remember to get all these, and then just do a couple throughout the day. Like I might do 2 sets, and I do these sets of push-ups when my back aches and whatnot, and it warms up all the muscles in the back, so that you can do these activities, and yeah, I'm glad to express myself here. Looking forward to next time we meet on the channel. You may have something that you like about me that you might comment. I don't expect everybody to watch through my videos. But thanks for watching this episode, and be sure to shine brightly. Transform your thoughts by doing the light work. Seek knowledge. Breathe. Remember, emotions are just about breath. It's not about another person making you angry. It's about whether or not you're breathing through the complication. Discipline. Exercise to activate the 3rd chakra. Masturbation for the 2nd. Meeting your basic needs for the 1st. I find that people who do somewhat questionable work, like that, it's still better than people who just take money from the government and feel like they're entitled, or the government's bad and they're going to take from them, because really it's taking from other people. So in a way it's theft. So and by the way, as a final conclusion, I will offer a caution that some people do is they intertwine spirituality with evil. So half of it sounds good. They talk about meditation, and then the other half they're talking prostitution, they're talking drugs. Half of it they're talking godly this, godly that. And then the people who, for example, the people who I know who are most religious are most socially maladjusted. They are perhaps greedy, perhaps seeking a mate that's disproportionate in age or health to them, and that's just not a dream mate. Dream mate is somebody who you can match up, who you can live your whole lifespan with, and really just want to get, if you will, older together, and better yet, want to live forever together. So thanks for hearing me out. I want to say aloha. Take care.